are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome to a new season of Focus on Germantown. Thank you for joining us for the season premiere. I'm Mayor Mike Palazzolo, and it's my privilege to be your mayor and host. Each month, the focus is on city government, how it provides services and works with you, our citizens, to make Germantown a great place to live. We will begin today's show by talking with First Vice President of the Germantown Community Theatre Board of Directors, Mr. Eric Newsome, and GCT's new Executive Director, Brian Everson, about the schedule of performances in store for this season. Then members of the Germantown Education Foundation Board, Tripp and GEF volunteer Edie Fleming will join us to talk about this year's successful Treasures for Teachers campaign and the return of the horses 10 miles per hour signs. Finally, we will end today's show talking about one of the city's unique educational opportunities. Memphis Oral School for the Deaf's new Executive Director, Lauren Hayes, stops by to share with us all the wonderful opportunities that MOSD provides for children who are hearing impaired. But first, Eric and Brian, welcome to the show. We are so glad that you're here today.
Thank you for having us, Mayor.
Great to be here.
Well, GCT brings genuine excitement for so many Germantown residents, including myself. We are very excited about this season. And it's either season 47 or 48. Am I close?
You're very close. You're 50% there. 47. We're starting that 47th season.
Almost approaching the golden anniversary, so to speak.
Got our eyes set on it already.
Well, before we taped the show today, I talked about a little bit about my introduction to GCT. My daughter's 25, and I think I first got a season ticket package or subscriber when she was 3. So you do the simple math. It's been a long time. So tell us a little bit about the excitement at the theater. We have new direction, and you are brand new to the theater. We welcome you.
Well, it's great to be here. I'm so thrilled to take on the role of Executive Director from Eric, who's done an outstanding job this past year, and so thrilled that he's staying on our board in an oversight capacity going forward.
Yes, and it threw me off, First Vice President. So I assume you may be President-elect one day of the board as well. I know the board.
Don't tell Bo.
Okay, good. Well, and he's done such a great job. Our Bo has put together a great team at the Board of Directors level, Dr. Bo Adams. And please help the community understand a little bit about maybe the new direction of the board and some of the things that the board's planning to keep theater alive in Germantown.
Sure. So coming off a fantastic year, we're excited to embark upon these leadership changes. Fundamentally, Germantown Community Theatre needs a face, and Brian's face is much better suited for the job than my face. So the board is hard at work. We've added almost double the size of our board of directors, which I think was incredibly important. Board fatigue is a real phenomenon, and our board worked so hard last year. When we sat and talked this time last year, we had so many mountains to climb, and we climbed a lot of mountains, and we had a great year, but we needed some new blood and some new energy on the board. So we've almost doubled the size of the board, and we're hard at work, both on supporting Brian in this season, and I was not being tongue-in-cheek when I said we've got those sights set firmly on 50 already. So we're going to continue to raise money, continue to broaden the reach. I think that's what I really want to do in our community theater now. We've got a good, solid community of people that I know are going to be at every show, and they're going to be, I know my donors very well, and we sort of want to broaden that community a little bit and make this art reach a little more broadly into the community of Germantown and surrounding areas.
Well, before we talk about this season with Brian, speak a little bit about some of your key partners, because I think a lot of people don't know the history of the Germantown Women's Club and how it's been an integral part of community theater in our city. Maybe expand on that a little bit.
Absolutely. The Women's Club has been a fantastic supporter, not only this year. I think they stepped on the gas a little bit this year for us, and it's been great, but they've been a part of that theater since day one. They literally founded Germantown Community Theater when we started in a small school room at church in the middle of town. So they've been there literally since day one. We also have a wonderful theater guild, primarily of citizens of Germantown as well, that's been there for 39 of our 47 years. So those groups are absolutely fundamental in supporting. We really couldn't do what we do without all of their volunteer energies.
Without doubt. I know the Germantown Women's Club, there's no task too big for them, and the Guild has been very supportive as well. Well, Brian, you are no stranger to the performing arts, and especially at Germantown Community Theater. We were talking a little bit about the multiple roles you've been at the theater on stage, also behind the scenes as a director as well. Now you're the executive director, and just share with us how that feels a little bit.
It's very exciting. I love the theater. I've spent countless hours and have been, working there in some capacity for probably 8 or 9 years now. I think I've done 9 shows on stage there. I've directed 3 shows there, and these last 2 years I've served on the board as the first vice president. Then we kind of swapped places.
Sure.
But I'm super excited, and one of the key things to me is expanding our reach and what we can offer the citizens of Germantown. For instance, if something that we've never offered before that we're beginning to offer in September is some adult and teenage dance classes on Saturdays. So if you have an interest in that, we'll be teaching jazz and musical dance and some tap as well on Saturdays with a very talented teacher, Kathy Thiel. And if you'd like to check that out, just visit our website at gctcomeplay.org. We're also looking, and we've been discussing possibly adding some adult acting classes for those that might want to get out and try something new. So we're trying to expand what we can offer to the citizens of Germantown across the board. And GCT is the only place that a citizen of Germantown can come and see locally produced theater with their fellow Germantown citizens, and we are so proud and pleased that we can continue to provide that service to the city of Germantown and its citizens.
Well, we've always been very proud. So many Ostrander Awards have come out of our little theater over the years. Let's talk about the season. I know there's some excitement there. Maybe you can recap each show that's coming up this year.
Absolutely. So a week from Friday, we open Nonsense, which is a lovely little comedy musical. Following that, we'll be doing Agatha Christie's Mousetrap. We'll be doing around Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life. Following that, we'll be doing a regional premiere of a fun show called 4 Weddings and an Elvis that will kind of coincide with Elvis Week. So if you've ever wanted to see people get married by Elvis, please come check that out. It'll be fun.
And that will be the spot for our first responders
nice.
show as
Okay,
well.
Great.
Yeah,
what a great partnership, too.
Yes. Following that, we'll be doing Crucible, and then we'll be closing the season with Neil Simon's Fools. So.
Wow, what a show, what a lineup of shows. We have a little less than a minute left in this segment. We've had a great partnership with the city and with GCT about children's programming, and that's been ongoing for 10 or 11 years. Just share with our viewing audience a little bit about how important that is. We've only got about 40 seconds though, so you'll have to be quick.
Oh, that's right. I can talk fast despite the southern drawl. So this was an incredible year in the children's program, and I'll mention that just to show you the example of what we do for the city of Germantown. Camps, we're in 5 camps this year, had a waiting list for them. All-day camps, it was fantastic. We also produced 2 shows in the main season that feature primarily children in the cast as well. So we have the ability to really reach out and get kids kind of involved in their first experience in the performing arts, and it's an incredible service. It's always very popular, very well attended, and we are so thankful to the city for supporting us bringing the next generation of performing artists up through this community.
Well, it's been a great partnership. We look forward to it continuing. Thank you for being my guest today. We look forward to GCT season.
Thank you.
I'm excited to catch some of the season's wonderful performances at Germantown Community Theatre. After this, we'll take a quick break and be back with Germantown Education Foundation Representative Tripp Turner and Edie Fleming. Stick with us.
things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
To focus on Germantown. Established in 2006, the Germantown Education Foundation is an independent 501c3, not-for-profit corporation that raises funds to directly support the public education of children in Germantown. Before the beginning of each school year, GEF proudly partners with Knowledge Tree through the Treasures for Teachers campaign to raise funds to provide each GMSD teacher with a $120 gift card to take on some of the financial burden of supplying an entire school year of supplies. Here with us to talk about this year's successful campaign is GEF board member Tripp Turner and GEF volunteer Edie Fleming. Welcome to the show today.
Hey, thanks for having us.
What excitement. You know, it always excites me at the beginning of a school year when we come off of a successful summer campaign. And Edie, I know you had so much to do with that, being the chair of our Treasures for Teachers program. For our viewing audience, please share with them a little bit, what does that mean and how is that important for our school teachers?
Well, the Treasures for Teachers campaign is an opportunity for us to provide funds for each classroom. In partnership with Knowledge Tree, each classroom teacher gets $120 to buy things that they need for their classroom to make the educational experience better for the children in their classroom. They use it for a range of things, from file folders to books to clocks on the wall, all types of things. It just gives them a little, they spend a lot of their own money traditionally, and it gives them an opportunity to have a little relief from that personal financial burden. It also serves to provide an opportunity for the people of our community to invest in the classrooms in a very specific way.
Well, you know, ownership means everything in a sense. And, you know, through this program, you could, in essence, adopt a classroom.
Absolutely.
You could adopt or sponsor an entire grade level if you wanted to. We had some big corporate citizens, two pretty significant ones. Do you want to highlight those two that I think maybe 50 or 60 different classrooms they sponsored?
Right, and they have both consistently sponsored for the 3 years of this campaign, and we are so grateful for that. International Paper and Landers Ford have been dynamic sponsors of this program.
And then we have, you know, I don't want to use the word mom and pop, but we have the individual sponsors that do one classroom and others as well. So really a community event. How many classrooms and how many teachers are we talking about?
We funded 370 classrooms this year, so 370 teachers. So we raised $37,000 for that effort. And I'm glad you said that about the mom and pop thing, because that is so important. We're so thankful for our large sponsors, but the investment by the citizens in the city of Germantown and our school district is unmatched, and that's great.
Well, to put it all into perspective, I was a classroom teacher in the 80s, 86 to 89, in the Memphis City schools. At that time, we got $100 30 years ago. And even with the resources we have at GMSD, the amount's still the same, and I think there's some dollars that come from the state. But when you can double this, and then also you might want to talk about our partner with Knowledge Tree, because in essence it's a little bit, you've got the cake, maybe Knowledge Tree may be the icings. Yeah.
Absolutely, they have been so gracious and so kind to, they're located in Germantown, and that is helpful to us. They've been so gracious and kind to offer to match each $100 gift card with $20, and they've done that the past 2 years, and perhaps the third year, but I became intimately involved with it last year. And that is, they provide the opportunity for our teachers to take advantage of their wonderful supplies, and they have been such a gracious supporter of this program. They also are beginning for next year, just as a plug, they would like to really make this a more online opportunity for the teachers so that they can go online and order their supplies even a little bit before they get their gift card.
Make it even more convenient for them, and then they can
Absolutely.
plan ahead as well. So I guess now with the 100, the 20, and then the school portion, 220 for each one of our 370 classroom instructors, correct?
That's correct.
Wow, what a great program. Thank you for your volunteer spirit and your effort sharing and your great sense of community yourself. So thank you, Edie. I appreciate it very much. Tripp, let's talk. As a board member, and full disclaimer and disclosure, I'm on the board of Germantown Education Foundation as well, and helped form it in 2006. You brought a prop with you today. Do you want to show our viewing audience what this is?
And yeah, I'm pretty excited about these coming back. This is a great opportunity for the GEF to raise some money. These signs are available. It's kind of our past as City of Germantown, and as a kid, I remember these signs.
You didn't take one, did you?
No,
because that's a lot of lore in our community.
No, I wouldn't know anything about it. But I did ride my horse through Germantown as a kid, so this is neat that this is coming back.
Well, I tell you what, we've got 26 locations,
Correct.
and I think we have commitments for either 5, 6, or 7 already.
I think we're up to 6.
So we have 6, and
that
so
are up.
Yeah, and so please just share with our viewers a little bit about what is the commitment, what do you get, so to speak, besides just that good feeling.
It's a $1,000 donation to the GEF, and in return, these signs go up at strategic locations around the city, and you can dedicate them to a family member or some part of the community. And the people who sponsor the sign will get a exact replica of what goes up that's yours to keep forever.
Well, I've gotten more calls about, can I just buy the sign? But we have used this as a great fundraising tool for the Germantown Education Foundation. It has created some excitement in the community, and mainly the signs are placed in our Central Business District and in Old Germantown. We saw a real quick spike during the Charity Horse Show week.
Right.
And so these signs will be available throughout the year. And also, as you mentioned, there's a replica involved that the donor can get and take that with them. On the back, there's some identification as well.
Yeah, it's actually, this one doesn't have it, but on the back we'll have, who sponsored it, who's dedicated to, and that type thing that'll be there as a permanent marker.
In perpetuity, so that's great. Just to give a couple other pointers to the community, GEF, again, has been around since 2006. We have the Treasure for Teachers program. We have our GMSD 5K Stampede, and now also the Horses 10.
Right.
What a great time to be part of our foundation.
It really is, and like I said, our task is to put money directly back into the classrooms, for GMSD schools. So, we value the public's input, and we need y'all's help.
Great. Well, thank you for being my guest today. It's fun to drive around our city to see the iconic horse speed limit signs as a nod to Germantown's rich equestrian history. If you are interested in making a donation to get your own sign, please contact GEF at gmsdk12.org. After this short break, we'll speak with Lauren Hayes, Executive Director of the Memphis Oral School for the Deaf. Back after this.
How long have we been married there?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years. We decided on Meals on Wheels because I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back once again to Focus on Germantown. The City of Germantown is home to a number of unique educational opportunities, including 2 different school districts, a number of private schools, a university, and specialty schools that cater to students with learning or physical disabilities. One of the lesser-known educational treasures in our city is Memphis Oral School for the Deaf. The school is truly one of a kind in the way it educates students that are hearing impaired. Here with us now to talk more about MOSD is Executive Director Lauren Hayes. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Thanks for letting me come on to talk about the school today.
We're glad to have you. And you know, I don't think lesser known is the proper wording for our little gym in Germantown. Yeah. And also, you know, when I was doing a little bit of my prep work, I didn't realize that the school has actually been around since 1959.
1959, and you would not believe how many times I hear people who say, I've lived in Germantown my whole life and I didn't know you guys were there. And that's how a lot of the stories, you know, people drive by and really don't know about our school until they need our school. But then when they learn about our school, they always leave a piece of their heart with our students.
Well, you know, when the school moved to Germantown in 2005 or 6, I was there for the grand opening, and there was such excitement. So many alums came and so many parents and people associated with the school. It was really a celebration. And now we have a new celebration because you're the new executive director. Our community loved Teresa, and she did such a great work, and I know you worked together with her, but now you are the executive director and you have such a connection with the school. Share that with our viewers.
I say I wear a bunch of different hats. The first hat that I wear still is parent. I'm the mom of twin boys. One of my sons has hearing loss, and we found out right when he was born during that newborn hearing screening, which is so important. And so through early intervention, through coming to learn about our programs, he enrolled at 4 months old into our Sound Beginnings program, which is the only program in our community that serves birth to 2. So we can get them at 6 weeks when they're diagnosed at birth. And then when they turn 2, they can start our preschool. And he's still in our preschool program and will be turning 4 next month. And through the programs at MOSD, he really has age-appropriate language compared to his hearing twin brother. And as a mom, I'm just so behind our programs because I've seen the progress, their early intervention, getting the hearing devices that a child needs. They really can close that chronological age gap and be ready to go to kindergarten with their hearing peers. And in May, you know, you've met our graduates before they went right out into the mainstream. 5 children went right into their normal local kindergarten programs. And now I'm executive director, and I just love the parent connection. We really meet them where they are in their journey and can carry them through.
And say maybe journey is a good word because also our school, I think it's the only one in maybe a several 100-mile radius, and so some parents have actually a journey to come and take advantage of this benefit.
That's true, yeah. The one family traveled from Brownsville, way out in Haywood County every single day for their child to attend. So we're part of an option school network. There's only 40 schools of the option kind in the entire world, and the only one within 200 miles of Memphis. So we have 5 days a week of therapy, 5 days a week of listening therapy, oral HAB, and really the intensity of services, the frequency, and the one-on-one that each child gets. We're really pouring as much into them as we possibly can during that birth to 6 window when the brain's learning spoken language for them to be independent. And that's what we're trying to do, and allowing the community to be involved to really make little investments, little deposits into the lives of our children. It really does have a lifelong investment. A lot of our former alumni, one works at the school now as in our development department. She's profoundly deaf, speaks beautifully, and a lot of our alumni are going off to just do wonderful things and have limitless opportunities.
Well, in your new role, and you have been with the school for a few years, but in your new role, do you have somewhat of a thought about the future and the vision of Memphis Oral School, or still trying to kind of get your arms around everything?
You know, our brand new building that we built in 2007 almost needs to get bigger. Our enrollment is expanding so rapidly. Just within the last 3 years, the growth of our Birth to 3 program has grown well over 117%. So we're reaching more more children earlier in life. And I think that is going to continue to be the goal that we push through advanced technology. We're taking part in a research project with the University of Memphis and through Lena Technology, that we really just reach more children. We really should not have any children who fall through the cracks, that they're getting screened at birth, they're getting identified and amplified early in life, so that we don't have children who are late identified, who want to learn spoken language. And so that's going to continue to be our goal. We serve all children of all socioeconomic backgrounds, platforms no one has ever been turned away at all. So we're really providing a public service to a lot of families in the underserved populations of Shelby County, not just in Germantown. And I think that's really important, making our services accessible and available.
And so not from a curriculum standpoint, but would you go from what age or what grade?
So birth to 2 for our Sound Beginnings program, and families come once a week. They really become the child's first teacher, and then when they turn 2, they can start the preschool, and we have them all the way up through the summer, right before they go to kindergarten. And then we put them into kindergarten, and a lot of our children are almost ahead of their hearing peers in academics and literacy. But the cost to do everything that we do in the building is about $50,000 per child per year. That's what it cost us through audiology and classroom, and so community support's huge. It's huge to offset the tuition cost.
We have a little less than a minute. Do you want to highlight some events coming up?
Do you play golf?
I do, or I like the new option of you can just pay the entry fee and not come. So,
the easiest thing is to be a sound investment partner, which is just any monthly gift. That's something reliable we can really rely on. But our 9th annual MOSD golf tournament presented by Subsidium is coming up on September 27th. Sponsor or play.
Wow. Well, you heard it here first. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Very exciting news, and congratulations as well. I'd like to thank all of my guests for being on the show today. I'd also like to thank you, the viewers, for taking the time to focus on Germantown. If you'd like more information about this or any of the other shows on Germantown Municipal Television, please visit www.gmtvonline.org. If you're looking for ways to volunteer your time in our community, please visit volunteergermantown.com. We'll see you when Focus on Germantown returns next month.